Hello, blah blah blasters. Welcome to a new video of this special series that I am doing revealing all the secrets behind the production of RuPaul's Drag Race. Today we're going to talk about the first season. So let's start with all the juicy information right now.
In the summer of 2008, 9 drag queens walked into a tiny, unassuming soundstage in Burbank, California. None of them quite knew what they had signed up for. They had agreed to compete in a new reality series hosted by the legendary RuPaul, but the specifics were murky. What unfolded would become a foundational chapter in queer television history, though at the time it looked more like chaos in wigs and sequins. Among the cast was BeBe Zahara Benet, a poised queen from Cameroon by way of Minneapolis, Shannel, a polished Vegas showgirl, Victoria Porkchop Parker, a seasoned pageant competitor, and Nina Flowers, a punk-influenced queen from Puerto Rico. Each brought a unique flavor of drag, which, according to executive producer Randy Barbato, was exactly the point. It was always about having all different kinds of drag: pageant drag, glam drag, fashion drag. Everyone has their own perception of who they are and how they want to represent themselves. But representation wasn't just aesthetic, it was cultural. As performer Ben Delacreme later reflected, the show allowed queens from vastly different racial and social backgrounds to witness and understand each other. When we get to see queens from all these other demographics explaining their experiences, that bridging of worlds happens not just with straight people seeing us, but with us seeing each other. The queens were chosen through a mix of online competitions and scouting. Nina Flowers won her spot through an elaborate online vote, campaigning tirelessly and performing challenges on video for 2 months. Others were approached at clubs, or like BeBe, were recruited after impressing producers during live performances. She recalled, "A friend mentioned there was this thing online, but I wasn't sure. Then RuPaul saw me perform Circle of Life, and I realized, if Ru is behind this, it has to be something that elevates our art." Once cast, the queens entered a world far from glamorous. Their accommodations, the Ramada Inn, their meals, fast food, their stage, a stifling studio nicknamed Redemption Stages, where temperatures soared and lighting mishaps resulted in the now iconic Vaseline filter look. "When it's hot in LA, it's 10 degrees hotter in Burbank," RuPaul quipped. "We did the best we could with the budget we had." The show's creators were ambitious. Producer Chris McKim described the vibe they aimed for as a blend of Paris is Burning and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. All staff were required to watch these queer cinema classics. It was all about the conversation and the specificity of the language, McKim said. Still, Season 1's launch was not without chaos. Initially, queens were supposed to compete with sidekick designers. Shannel remembered preparing as part of a team. "Had I known I'd be competing alone, I don't know that I would have done it." That plan was scrapped at the last minute. Along with the original idea of introducing drag through car races, even after filming began, the queens were kept in the dark. "I thought we'd be racing go-karts in drag," confessed Rebecca Glasscock. Shannel, who was the first queen to ever walk into the workroom, recalled the surreal moment. "I saw sewing machines and panicked. I'm not a seamstress." Despite the uncertainty, the show quickly found its rhythm and its drama. The first mini-challenge drenched the queens in a soapy car wash shoot, which Nina Flowers called nothing like anything I'd done before. The first maxi challenge sent them dumpster diving for runway materials. BeBe, reflecting on her elegance being ruined by water, quipped, "They disrespected the dream, honey. That wig? Murdered." It was a crash course in resilience and creativity, and the queens adapted. Untucked-style moments emerged organically. As co-creator Tom Campbell recalled, "We were watching them in the hallway and realized, this is the real show." The first lip sync for their lives set the tone for the high-stakes emotion ahead. When RuPaul couldn't decide between Porkchop and Acacia, production was halted. "I don't know what to do," Ru said before retreating for deliberation. Ultimately, Porkchop became the first to sashay away. Soon after, the show delivered its first emotional bombshell in a challenge linked to the Mac Viva Glam campaign on Yaina, beloved for her whimsy and bald glamour, one with a vibrant celebratory ad. Upon hearing her name, she broke down and publicly revealed she was HIV positive. "I was overwhelmed," she later said. "The emotion just pushed the words out of me. Everyone from the queens to the crew was in tears. That was the first moment where the show found its soul," said Nina Flowers. "It wasn't just entertainment. It became about life, resilience, visibility, and it wasn't the last emotional peak." Tammy Brown's chaotic brilliance and refusal to play by reality TV rules made her both unforgettable and doomed. After a poorly executed performance in a girl group challenge, she told producers she didn't care if she went home, and followed through on it. "I was done," she admitted. "This wasn't my kind of music." Perhaps the most debated stunt of the season came when Shannel, during a lip sync against Acacia, let her elaborate headdress fall dramatically to the floor. Some called it a stunt. Others, like Tom Campbell, thought it changed the game. At the time, you could not convince me that wasn't divine. By the final episodes, the top three emerged: BeBe Zahara Benet, Nina Flowers, and Rebecca Glasscock. Their final challenges included dancing, recording vocals, and starring in a music video. BeBe recalled feeling in her element. "I grew up in music. I was ready." Rebecca, less confident, admitted, "I didn't know what I was doing, but I gave it my best." Nina and BeBe, meanwhile, embraced a sisterly connection. "We whispered, 'Let's give them a show,'" BeBe said. In the end, BeBe's polished performance and heartfelt presence secured her the crown. "I didn't cry, I screamed," she said. "A black queen, an African queen. I won. That meant everything." The reunion, filmed months later, was fiery. Tensions flared between contestants and judges, culminating in Tammy Brown's now iconic line to RuPaul, "I don't see you out there walking children in nature." Ru snapped. Tammy snapped back, and a drag legend was born. But RuPaul later reflected, "I wasn't talking to them. I was talking to myself. We all need reminders of who we are." That philosophy would anchor the franchise for years to come. Drag Race Season 1 may have had its Vaseline filter and bargain bin prizes, but what it lacked in gloss, it made up for in guts. As BeBe later said, "You can hate it, you can love it, but it had heart, and that's what mattered. What began as a scrappy gamble became the genesis of a global phenomenon. It created archetypes, catchphrases, and a new standard of visibility for queer performers." As Bob the Drag Queen later reflected, "BeBe embodied everything I was told was a detriment: black, queer, loud, and she turned it into power. For the queens of Season 1, there was no roadmap, only instinct, artistry, and faith. There was no blueprint," BeBe once said. "We were the blueprint." Behind-the-scenes highlights of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 1 budget constraints, filmed in a cramped Burbank studio nicknamed Redemption Stages, with limited lighting and production equipment. Vaseline filter. The blurry glow effect was a result of lighting experiments and budget tech. It became an iconic, if accidental, visual signature. Accommodation and meals. Queens were housed at the Ramada Inn and fed mostly fast food. Initial casting confusion. Originally planned to include sidekick designers. That concept was dropped just before filming began. Minimal information provided. Queens didn't know the show's structure or challenges beforehand. Some expected obstacle courses or drag races, first to enter. Shannel was the first ever queen to walk into the workroom, panicked at the sight of sewing machines. Challenge development. Writers and producers drew inspiration from queer cinema. Classics like Paris is Burning and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Emotional toll. The pressure of filming, isolation, and long hours led to several emotional breakdowns on and off camera. Organic birth of Untucked. Producers noticed compelling drama in Queen's hallway conversations. This led to the creation of Under the Hood, later rebranded as Untucked. First elimination dilemma. Ru halted production during the first elimination, unsure whether to eliminate Porkchop or Acacia. Mac Viva Glam Challenge. Onyaina. Spontaneous, HIV-positive revelation on set took the entire cast and crew by surprise. Producer support. After Ongina's reveal, producers privately checked in to ensure she was comfortable with the footage being used. Shannel's headdress drop, her dramatic wig drop sparked debate. Planned stunt or accidental brilliance. Lip sync protocols. Contestants were told to prepare songs ahead of time, though the performance dynamics were kept secret. Editing strategy. RuPaul's dialogue during runways was fed to him through an earpiece. Writers crafted puns on the fly. Reunion drama. Months after filming, the reunion special featured real tension, especially between Tammy Brown and RuPaul. Iconic quotes born from chaos. Tammy's "walking children in nature" line came from genuine frustration.
You both call me losers, and I don't see you out there walking children in nature.
No prize clarity. During filming, even Ru didn't know what the final prize was. He jokingly referred to it as moose cock.
And now that you know all this juicy information, I invite you to keep an eye on my channel because I will be bringing you more information soon. Goodbye!